Good evening or afternoon, guys. Welcome to Pawpaw Storytime. Once again, feeling unprepared, but I always just go and it just always kind of works out. So we have a couple bonus stories today. We have a guest reader who will introduce herself and her story when it's time. I'm going to go ahead and open with The Giving Box by Fred Rogers. So if you want to go get your book, those of you who have it, all my grandkids, we're on page 29 in the Folktales and Fables, and this one is The Brothers. Some folktales about brothers are stories of rivalry and jealousy, but there are also tales like this one of warm and strong bonds between two brothers and obligations to take care of one another. This Hebrew legend is about a puzzling mystery. Two brothers inherited equal parts of their father's fields. They were both successful farmers. They were both kind and caring towards each other. As the years went by, the older brother married. He and his wife had 3 sons. The younger brother remained single. For a long time, both brothers did well on their farms. However, one year there was no rain. Most of the crops withered in the fields. There was little wheat that could be harvested. The older brother said to his wife and sons, "I'm worried about my brother. He is all alone. He has no wife or children to care for him. Even though we harvested little this year on our farm, I want to share some of what we have with my brother. If I offer some of our food, he will probably refuse it, so I'll just put it in his barn." In the middle of the night, he piled some of his wheat into a cart and quietly left it in his brother's barn. That same night, the younger brother awoke. He thought about how many mouths his brother had to feed, and he decided to share what little he had with him and his family. "Surely he'll kindly refuse my wheat if I offer it." So, in the middle of the night, he secretly carted some of his wheat to his brother's barn. The next morning, when the older brother went out to his barn, he couldn't believe his eyes. How could it be that he gave some of his wheat to his brother, but his pile of wheat was as high as the day before? When the younger brother went out to his barn that same morning, he couldn't believe his eyes. How could it be that he gave some of his wheat to his brother, but his pile of wheat was as high as the day before? What a mystery! Again the next night, each brother went out to share some of his wheat with the other one. And again the next morning, each brother found in the barn the same amount of wheat as the day before. The older brother talked about this mystery with his wife and sons, and they decided to go along with him that night. Maybe they could help him figure it out. The whole family pitched in, and soon they had stacked a pile of wheat in their cart. Could it be that their father had just misjudged how much he had delivered? The puzzled family started on their way. The younger brother, also puzzled, started on his way with his cart. It so happened that night that both brothers chose to cart their wheat at the same time, and lo and behold, they met in the middle of the fields, each with wheat for the other. How they all laughed and hugged when they realized what was behind the mystery, their own kindness for each other. And that'll be that one. That was a good story. Next week it'll be the Countess and the Miracle. I think it's next week. That one back. Now we're going to read, this is our second to the last of our My First Little House books in our collection. It's Sugar Snow. I have a slow connection. I'm going to go through here and see if I can fix that real quick. Are we still back? Are we online? Okay. There might have been a little break in that. I don't know. Hopefully we're still good. So we're going to read Sugar Snow by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Once upon a time, a little girl named Laura lived in the big woods of Wisconsin in a little house made of logs. Laura lived in the little house with her pa, her ma, her big sister Mary, her baby sister Carrie, and their good old bulldog Jack. Spring was coming to the big woods. For days the sun shone and the weather was warm. All day the icicles fell one by one from the little house into the snowbanks. Then one day Laura saw a patch of ground showing through the snow. "May I go out to play, Ma?" she asked. "You may tomorrow," Ma promised. That night Laura woke up shivering. Her nose was icy cold. Ma tucked another quilt around her. "Snuggle up close to Mary," Ma said, "and you'll get warm." In the morning, Laura looked out the window, and the ground was covered with soft, thick snow. Pa came in, stamping the snow from his boots. "It's a sugar snow," he said. Laura quickly tasted a snowflake from Pa's sleeve, but it didn't taste like sugar at all. "Why is it a sugar snow, Pa?" she asked. Pa said he would explain tonight after he came home from Grandpa's. It was late when Pa came home that night. He came in with a big bucket and 2 little packages. He gave the bucket to Ma and the little packages to Laura and Mary. The bucket was full of dark brown maple syrup. When Laura opened her little package, she found a little hard brown cake with beautifully crinkled edges. Laura bit off one little crinkle, and it was sweet. "It's maple sugar," said Pa. Supper was ready, and Laura and Mary laid their little maple sugar cakes by their plates, while they ate the maple syrup on their bread. After supper, Pa took them on his knees as he sat by the fire and told them about his day at Grandpa's and the sugar snow. "All winter," Pa said, "Grandpa has been making wooden buckets for the maple syrup. When the first warm weather came, he took the buckets out into the woods and put each one by a maple tree. Then he drilled a small hole in the tree so that the sap could run out. After all the buckets were full, he boiled all the sap in a big iron kettle until it turned into maple syrup. Then he cooled some of the sweet syrup into cakes of hard brown maple sugar." "Is that why it's called a sugar snow? Because Grandpa made sugar?" asked Laura. "No," said Pa. "It's called a sugar snow because a snow at this time of the year helps the trees to make more sap for the syrup." Got another slow connection. The thing keeps happening. I hope that's coming through okay. Then it was time for bed. By the time Laura and Mary had washed their sticky fingers and were snug in their beds, Pa and his fiddle were both singing them off to sleep. The end. Sugar snow. Only got one more of these left. County Fair. So I'm going to let our guest reader come. She'll introduce herself and the story, and then I'll close when she's finished.
Hello, I'm the guest reader. We are going to do, let's see if this works out right.
This episode of Bluey is called Grannies.
Grannies.
Make sure you pick up some beads.
I actually got to watch that episode a while ago. It was really cute. So I'm going to read Grannies, the Bluey book. Janet and Rita are heading to the shops. Oh no! Here come the grannies. The grannies cause chaos in Mum's corner store. Rita forgets to pay for her beans again. Wake up, Janet, says Mum. Just having a Nana nap, love. Rita makes a run for it, but slips on her beans. I slipped on my beans. Bingo jumps up, giggling, and begins to floss. But Bluey doesn't think grannies can floss. Yeah, they can, replies Bingo. Let me show it. There we go. They ask Mum who is right. Mum says, ask your father. They find Dad in the bathroom, unblocking the stinky toilet. How should I know if grannies floss, he tells them. Go ask your Nana. Of course, Bluey and Bingo call Nana. If she can floss, then Bingo's right. But if she can't, Bluey's right. Nana's ears answer. Down, Nana. Then her feet. Up, Nana. Then her eyeballs. Back, Nana, back. Nana's not great with screens and things, but finally she works it out. Hi, girls. Nana, can you do the flossing dance? Asks Bingo. Well, I'll give it a go, says Nana. She wibbles and wobbles and flaps her arms around. Boba joins her and starts to dance too, kicking his legs out onto the sides. It's dancing, all right, but it's not flossing. I was right, yells Bluey. Grannies can't floss. Yes! Bluey wants to carry on playing, but Bingo doesn't feel like being a granny anymore. Bluey doesn't understand why and stomps off. Mum suggests Bluey asks herself if she wants to be right or if she wants the game to keep going, because sometimes you can't have both. That's true. But Bluey thinks you can. I know. She makes another call. Nana, you're going to learn how to floss. It's time to teach this old dog a new trick. When Bluey is done, she surprises Bingo. Grannies can floss, shouts Bingo. Yeah, I was wrong, says Bluey with a smile. Thanks, Bluey, says Bingo. Thanks, Nana. You're welcome, Bingo. Let's play grannies, said Bluey. Lovely day for a drive, wouldn't you say, Rita? Sure is, Janet. Thump. Beep, beep. I'm going to put these wet clothes on the line. Whoo! Nice parking spot, Nana. Rita and Janet might not be the best drivers, but they sure know how to floss, and that's way more fun than being right. Very cute. That's it, the end. Pawpaw will be back. Thank you.
Oh, 2 thumbs up for Grandma. She did a good job. Ain't she ready? Good story. It's Bluey. And we're gonna, we got another bonus story I'm gonna read real quick. I don't know if I need the glasses. It is Potty Time from Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. It says, did you know there are potties everywhere? Hi, neighbor. My dad says you should always try to go potty before you leave the house. Even if you feel like you don't have to, you can still sit and try to go. When you have to go potty, stop and go right away. And because there's a little button right here, I get to push the button at the top.
When you have to go potty, stop and go right away.
Okay. Oh, I guess I did have to go a little bit. Do you know what to do after you use the potty? Flush and wash and be on your way.
Flush and wash and be on your way.
At school, I have to... Hold on. At school, I have to go potty, but I don't want to stop playing. What should I do? When you have to go potty, stop and go right away.
Have to go potty, stop and go right away.
Flush and wash and be on your way.
Flush and wash and be on your way.
Uh-oh, we're at the music shop and I have to go potty. Should I try and wait till I get home? When you have to go potty, stop and go right away.
When you have to go potty, stop and go right away.
Then flush and wash and be on your way.
Flush and wash and be on your way.
At home, at school, or out and about, there are potties everywhere. So remember, when you have to go potty, stop and go right away. Flush and wash and be on your way.
When you have to go potty, stop and go right away. Flush and wash and be on your way.
Oh, the end. That's the end of it. Awesome. Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, teaching us how to go potty. When to go potty is important. And we're going to close with the Little House Book of Wisdom here. It says, to win anything, we must have the ambition to do so. From these happy golden years. Did we read that one last time? I don't know. It's okay. It's always a good message. I'm going to put that one back in rotation. And let me see. And we're going to turn over here and probably do the one. I think we'll do this one this time. And it's, when the day turns into night and you're way beyond my sight, I'll think of you, I'll think of you. When the night turns into day and you still are far away, I'll think of you, I'll think of you. Even when I'm not here, we still can be so very near. I want you to know, my dear, I'll think of you. And I think that's going to be it. Let me turn the camera back around. I love you guys for being exactly who you're supposed to be. Remember, you're the only one that gets to decide that. And before I close, our minds, just like our books, work better when they're open. Just keep your mind open. Be open-minded. I love you guys very much. See you guys next week.